Hi everyone, in this section we are going to talk about object oriented programming, which is a very important concept in programming. And we will not talk about any specific algorithms in this case. It's not about algorithms, it's about style of writing code, okay? So right now what we have seen a functional style of writing code where for every logic we create a function. But in object oriented programming, the functions are tied around objects, and we deal with these objects and the concept of classes. So let me tell you what is an object. So object basically denotes an entity from a real world, okay? For example, let me give you one example. Let's say I'm using this digital pen, and now this digital pen has a software application in which I have different things. Okay, maybe I have a digital pen object inside my software app, and this pen object has different attributes. For example, one attribute is color. Okay, I want to use a, let's say, green color for writing. Maybe later on I want to switch on the color. Okay, maybe I also have a property, let's say thickness. What is the thickness of this pen? So I can adjust this property, I can change this property to 5 pixel. Okay, maybe I also have a function to set the color. Okay, I pass in some color, maybe let's say red, and that will change the color of this pen to red. Now what you can see is this pen object has certain properties, or it has some attributes, okay, and it also has some methods, okay, or yeah, so these are some methods that this pen has. Now what you could have done is you could easily have defined different variables like string color, string int thickness, okay, and some function set color or something like that. So instead of making these as different sorry, this is a variable. So instead of making like different variables and they are stored, what we are going to do, we are going to wrap it inside a single, class, which is known as pen. Okay, so all these attributes and methods are tied with the entity that is a pen. So pen is a real world entity, okay, that we are depicting in software. Okay, so maybe let me give you another example. Let's say you are making a online shopping system and you want to implement the functionality for a shopping cart. Okay, this shopping cart would also have certain attributes. Maybe it would have a list of items that you want to buy. Okay, a list of items that you want to buy. It may have the method to get the total sum. Okay, this would be a method that will iterate on the list of items that we would have, and it will find out the total. And maybe there is a method that is known as apply discount. Okay, so you can see all these methods and attributes are connected with one entity that is shopping cart. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to make them as independent functions. We want to implement these functions as a part of a shopping cart. Okay, so what we will do, we'll define the structure of the shopping cart. Okay, how does a shopping cart look like, what data it will contain, and what are the methods that will operate on this particular data. Okay, so later on in this course we will build a small shopping cart backend using object oriented programming principles, but first we will understand the basic concepts of object oriented programming. So now I hope you understand the term entities in real world. Okay, so I've given you two examples. Okay, so what we have learned is all the objects that we would make in the code, they will have two things. One is a state. The state will store what data is present in that particular object, and behavior. So these functions operate on this data. For example, in the case of a pen, the data is the color of the pen and the thickness of the pen. Okay, and the function is maybe you want to change the color, or maybe you want to change the thickness. Okay, or maybe you want to show the thickness. Maybe there could be a function get color, I want to see what color is currently selected in the pen object. Okay, so this could be another. So I have this software application, you can see it has a lot of colors available. Maybe I want to use this color, So by clicking this pink color, the color of the pen will change to pink. So internally what happened is it called the set color method of this pen object, and that changed the color property of the pen from green to pink. Okay, this is what actually happened. So we want to write such code for software applications. So now let us take another example of, let's say, a car object. So maybe you want to build a system for a software for a car shop, or a car showroom, and then that would have, let's say, details about the car. Okay, maybe you want to define a car class, and that would have name of the car, a color of the car, a model of the car, maybe a year of manufacturing, and so on. Okay, a lot of details can be there, and maybe there could be a function that could tell me whether this car is in stock or not. Okay, or maybe what is the price of the car, or maybe checkout. Maybe someone wants to buy this car, then maybe there is a checkout method. Okay, so car is a product. Okay, so why do we need objects? We need objects so that we can write code that is related inside a single class. Okay, and this will make the work of a programmer easy, maintainable, and we can, and it also provides there are a lot of, yeah, and one very important feature of these object oriented programming is encapsulation. So encapsulation ensures that the data, the functions which operate on this data, they are in the same class, and this ensures modularity of the code. Okay, and 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 we are not, and it also ensures that we are not able to interface with some other data that belongs to some other class. Okay, so it also provides protection against, let's say, unauthorized access. Maybe this function is not written for this class, maybe this is for pen class, and this function is for, let's say, some other product class. Okay, so this function cannot modify the data of this class. So these functions, this function will modify the data of this class. Okay, so we can ensure that the encapsulation is there, and this feature is also known as data hiding. Okay, we are hiding specific data which is not relevant for that function. Okay, so apart from it, there are other features of object oriented programming as well, such as inheritance, polymorphism, which we are not going to talk right now. Okay, so but you can read about these features on your own as well. Okay, so let's dive into object oriented programming from the next lecture in more depth.